I've had a lot of requests from my viewers wanting me to show them how I do a coyote set. I want to show you a simple dirt hole set that is really simple and effective that I like to do. I've actually had a lot of success putting traps in old deer scrapes because deer aren't the only thing that visit these scrapes. Simply, it's a high scent area. So I've seen coyotes come to scrapes, I've seen foxes come to scrapes during deer season. So I tend to, pick a nice scrape along a tree line, and I'm just going to do a simple dirt hole set. Like I said, I got my bull bogger attachment, so I like to go about 8 inches deep and be careful for roots. You saw there. Take a hammer with a claw, and I like to dig out a nice little area because I want the trap to be about 8 inches from the entrance of the hole, and it needs to be offset to the left or right of the hole a little bit because the way the animal's legs will be going, it isn't going to be going straight towards the hole. It's going to be left or right of the hole as they approach it. So I'm just going to offset it to the right a little bit. And I'm going to get rid of most of that dirt because we're going to have a lot of low temperatures coming our way and rain. So I don't want any wet dirt in or around my set. So nice loose trap bed. And I used 2 different traps for coyotes, Bridger number 3s, and I also like to use MB 550s. And I don't have a preference yet because I just started using them this year to see which one I like better. But with the Bridgers here in North Carolina, they're too big for, you have to do some trap modifications to them. You got to add a shock spring, so I got a T-bar spring I added to it, and the chain can't be more than 8 inches from where it anchors in the ground. So basically from the point of the ground to the end of the chain can't be any more than 8 inches. So I gotta get that T-bar spring deep in the ground. Now, like I said, since we're gonna have a lot of rain and cold weather coming, I'm gonna be using peat moss in my sets. Peat moss is a good thing because it doesn't attract moisture for a little while, which moisture obviously means it could freeze if there's moisture in the area. So what I like to do, put a little bit of peat moss in the bottom for a nice base where the trap is. I need to make it a little bigger. Clean that out. Let's try it again. Just enough for a light coating to give a nice place to put your trap. I gotta dig it out a little more. I'm not used to these Bridgers, they're a pretty big trap. I still have enough peat moss in the bottom there. Alright. I use some of that red dirt to press down the sides because we don't want that trap moving, but make sure that red dirt, or wet dirt, isn't anywhere where the jaws are, because that could cause issues whenever the ground becomes frozen. So I like to use good old polyester fiber This costs $2.95 at Walmart, so it's pretty much a dime a dozen. And that's why I like to use underneath my trap pen to prevent any dirt or foreign substances from getting underneath it. You can use a number of things. You can do underalls. You can find them at any trapping website. You can put wax paper over the top. But this is what I've had. This is just easiest for me. You just put it in there. Don't even have to worry about it, because that wax paper can get in the way when you're covering your set. So just short, sweet for me. I like to get some more of that peat moss and go ahead and start covering the trap. Now the only issue with peat moss is it's very spongy, so if an animal is going to step on it, it may kind of spook it, because it's something unnatural. Spongy feeling in dirt isn't really a natural thing, in this area at least. So make sure you expose that pan again. Pat that down. That trap ain't going anywhere. In fact, throw a little bit more peat moss over top. Now I'm using some of this red wet dirt, not much, just to give a little bit more natural look and more natural feel for the animal, because I don't want to put too much on it because it'll freeze. Now, have you noticed I've been wearing gloves the whole time? I keep gloves on whenever I'm putting my set, and whenever I start to put my bait and lure in the hole, I take these off. So that's coming up right now. This is sheep's wool right here, raw sheep's wool, and this is a meat-based predator bait. This is Minnesota brand, Hiawatha Valley. I really don't know how to pronounce it. All I know is it works. And take some of that sheep's wool. And the reason why I use sheep's wool is because it's another nice attractant for the animals. So take some of that, spoon it right into the wool, put it in your hole, shove it all the way to the bottom. There you go. Close that back up. And on this one I'm going to use some Minnesota Gray Fox Gland. Nah, I changed my mind. We're going to use red fox gland, because I have been seeing a few red fox in the area. I'll use the gray on some other areas where I see more grays. But you take some of that. First, I need a backstop, so a nice black charred up piece of wood like this is a good visual attractant. So I'll put that on the back of the hole, and I'll take that red fox gland, put a little bit on that and a little bit on the back of the hole, and just keep that right there. Close it up, put my gloves back on, sift some more leaves over top of it to give it more of a natural look. There you go. That's a dirt hole set, North Carolina hunting vlog style.